Kathy from Kathy's Corner. I'm just going to do a little finishing tutorial. I have this Valentine Be Mine that I finished. I sewed, this is just scrap fabric I had onto the edge of this. And I was at Dollar General the other day and found this. I can't even get it in the picture. Here. And it's like, let me hold it up close. It's really pretty. So what I'm going to do is put this here. And I'm going to leave a little bit of white showing on the edge. So here's my process. I have already put batting on the back of this. I have my rotary cutter that I use with paper and cardboard, so I never use this with fabric. And I have these nasty old scissors that I use to cut things that are not fabric. I have my trusty dusty ruler. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure this right here, this edge right here, and draw it out on here and cut it. So I'm going to pause till I do that. I cut my piece of foam board. It's not pretty. I made a boo-boo right there, but it doesn't really matter. So I take the best side, which is this side. This side got yucky right there. And then I'm going to put it here and just make sure it leaves just enough. And I know there's a little piece of black writing right there, but I don't think it's going to matter because once I fold this over the edge of that one, that should not make a difference. That the writing, live every day like it's Saturday, that's what's written on it. That's cute. This was, by the way, I got this at the Dollar General for $12. So here's proof, $12. That's a lot cheaper than going to the frame store. Now it's kind of come unglued here, but I got my hot glue gun here. So now just make sure that that is right, and it is. And I don't need these yucky old scissors. I have a hot glue gun, and I'm going to place this on here. And since I have it, see how there's some stuff sticking out over here, I'm going to cut that off so that I can place this exactly even on top of this. So stop a minute. This is the part that you have to get perfect. So I'm just taking off stragglers. It doesn't matter. No one's going to see this part, but you got to get this part right. So I know I've cut off all the extras. So what I'm going to do is get I got a little ruler here. Got this. And I'm just going to measure. Do I have enough to pull over? I may not have enough. I'm on the other end here. I don't know that I have enough to pull over in glue. Just barely enough. So that means I have enough on the top and the bottom, but I don't have enough on the ends. So I'm going to cut off, I have to start all over again, but I'm going to cut off 1/8 of an inch here so that I'll have an extra 1/16 on each end to fold over. So I'm going to cut. So if I'm going to cut 1/8 on each end, then I'll just do 1/4 right here. Okay. First I kind of score it, and when I'm cutting these boards with this, I make sure that this edge right here is pushed against my ruler pretty hard. So I scored a few times and then I push down. It works better that way and comes off smoother like that. Okay, so I cut that part off, and let's see. It's in like that, and it doesn't make any difference with the writing. It's just going to show more on the sides. Do I want it to do that? I don't know. Let's think about this. Let's put it back here and just see if we're good. Oh, I think we're good. We're good. All right, I'm not gonna eyeball it. I'm gonna once again measure around all the sides. So I'm gonna just do a little speck right there. Bring it over. And I'm not pulling very tight, because if I pull too tight, it's going to distort things. If I'm going to pull tight, I'm going to pull tight down here. Okay, so I got my corners down. They look okay. Okay, but now I'm doing the other side, and it looks a little pulled there, and that's on purpose. What I did was I saw how much of this edge right here was showing. It's about 1/4 inch. So I want to make sure on this side that just 1/4 inch showed. So I pulled it tight over here. And now I'm going to glue it just a little bit at a time and keep checking over here how much of this shows so I get it even. Everything. This is a hot gluer I have had. It used to have like the little stand and everything. I think I've had this for 25 years. It gets pretty hot. They make new ones now that don't get as hot. I recommend those. Do I burn myself? Yes. Do I burn myself bad? No. So here we go. So here it is. I haven't glued. Let me move these things around. So I have not glued it on yet. Here it is. Here's what the back looks like. all hot glued. Here's what the front looks like. Looks pretty dang good, I think. And then this is, it fits perfectly, of course. But see, you can see that little piece of writing right there. So what I'm gonna do is turn this upside down. If I turn this upside down, I'm gonna hold it up, and I'm not sure I can see that writing. I can see that writing. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go get some white paint. Hello. And I'm going to paint just the tip of that little writing right there. Be right back. Here's what I did. I took a little bit of spray paint, put it in this bowl, just squirted one little squirt of spray paint, and I dipped the end of this paintbrush into that. And I just dotted it on this. This is the part right here that I'm trying to hide. And I think that'll do it. I'm gonna put a couple of coats, so let that dry a little and then put some more. On this Petri dish or whatever this is, the spray paint stays wet. Did I know that ahead of time? No. Have I ever done this before? No. Yeah, I think that's good enough. I don't think anybody's ever gonna know. So I'm gonna go clean this up, be right back. So that's what I used. One squirt in here. Did it all come out? No, but later on I can use turpentine or something to get that out, so that's fine. And I just put it on the very end of this letter, and I am gonna wait for that to dry. I'm gonna make sure it's at the bottom of my picture. Let me see if it's dry. I don't know if it's dry yet. So we're gonna put this in here. Like this. Oops, you can't see it. I'm gonna glue this on here like this, and it's gonna be pretty. Valentine Be Mine by Calico Confectionery. And again, this board is from the Dollar Tree for $12. And there you go. I'm just gonna hot glue it on here and hang it on my wall. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Here I am. Come back for more, and I'll see you next time on Kathy's Corner. Bye. I decided to frame two more things. This finish from Stitching with Housewives, Home is Where the Wreath Is, in the H part. And I have this Omnigrid ruler that is 6x6, and that fits perfectly around there. So I'm going to cut out two 6x6s here and do the same thing I just did in the other video, and I'll show you when I'm done. I'm looking at my corners. I just want to be a little careful with my corners. So I'm going to address the corner first. So I just hot glued it like this. And then when I do my corner, I'm going to pull this part in just a little and glue it right there, and then bring this over, and that corner will look good. Okay? So I've got that right where I want it. So we'll put some glue there. This trusty dusty pen. my H and my July for Home is Where the Wreath Is. And this was a little off. Oops, this right here was curved in a little too much. So all I did was just massage it some in this direction, and it moved those stitches over. So, you know, it's not perfect, but it's good enough for me. And just moving the stitches and massaging them like that, straighten it out. So there's my H, there's my O,